Are we doing what we know? Are you doing what you know you need to do in order to get your life to the place you want it to go? Remember, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So what are you going to change? What are you going to change? Right? This is why we have to be intentional about these things, is because if we don't bring intentionality to this stuff, we'll just drift. We'll just be in life. We'll just take things as they come, right? That's just the way it'll go. But we have to be intentional about some of the stuff that Jim Rohn talked about. One of the things I always write down, one of his most famous quotes is work twice as hard on yourself as you do on your job. Work twice as hard on yourself as you do on your job. You cannot out earn your identity. So are you working, if you think you're working hard at your job or on your business, are you working twice as hard on yourself? Are you doing all the things we're talking about? Are you watching what you're reading and listening to? Are you watching who you're around? Are you changing these parts of yourself that need to improve, right? Are you working twice as hard on yourself as you do on your job or your business? You got to pay attention to that. He said, number one, you got to find out how things work. Said you need ideas, right? I would always tell people that ideas, and it actually says it in our text, the 177 mental toughness secrets. It says that ideas are like the catalyst to the, the future, something like that. One of those chapters. I wasn't going to read that today, but a different chapter. But either way, you got to find out how things work. It gives you ideas. If you're curious enough, you'll become a lifelong learner. It'll give you ideas of how to get out of your financial situation, out of your relational situation, right? Improve your spiritual situation, right? Like every area of your life can come from an idea, can come from an idea. Society has us distracted. Society has you looking all over the place at all these different things instead of putting the ideas in your mind of how you and your family will move ahead. So you got to understand that. You got to understand, you got to study success again. Success leaves clues. Study the things you want to be. I never forget, right? Sometimes in school, because we're taught how to learn, we're taught what to read. When we get out, and I've had conversations with younger people, 18, 19, 20, and I'm like, hey, what are you reading? What do you want to go off and do? And what are you reading? If somebody says, hey, I want to go off and I don't know, I had a guy that one time wanted to design shoes, like bowling shoes and other shoes. And I was like, hey, have you ever read Shoe Dog by Phil Knight? He's like, no, I never read that. I was like, well, that's the story of the guy that started Nike, which is possibly one of the best shoe brands of all time. It would make sense for you to go read that book to educate yourself about the industry you're about to get into, right? That's common sense. But sometimes common sense isn't common for people. So, same thing in your life. If there's things you're trying to get to, have you read about it? Have you gotten a resource on it? Have you learned how to like study the things that you want? It's important if you want to go after the life you don't need a break from. He said, after you study it, use a journal. He said, your head is not a filing cabinet. Your head is not a filing cabinet. I heard a pastor say it a different way, that your mind, your head is meant for creativity, not for storage, right? Or up here, this is meant for creativity. It's meant because that's what the human brain can do. It's not just meant for storage. It's not meant to just hold a bunch of knowledge. That's why Jim Rohn said, right? Don't make sure your learning doesn't just turn to knowledge, that it turns to action, right? There's a different way to think about it. You know, the thesis, if you change your thinking, you change your life, right? If you change your thinking, you're going to change your life. These could be ways you might have to change your thinking. Are you writing it down in your journal? He said again, read, listen, and observe. Read, listen, and observe. How much are you reading in your own personal life around the areas that you want to improve? Ask yourself that question. No excuses, only adjustments. No, I don't like reading. I haven't found the time. Like, just make adjustments. But how much are you reading? If leaders are readers, the most successful people consume a lot of things that pertain to their specific situation. How much are you doing that? Because you can copy it and get what they have. So are you reading? Are you listening? That old saying, right? It's a joke, it's funny, but like poor people don't take rich people out to dinner. But what if you did? What if you did? What if you decided to get closer to the people that are healthy because you're trying to become healthier? Like, what if you just got around them more and listened more? Listen to how they talk about food, listen to how they talk about moving their body. What if you got around people that are more successful financially and then you hear how they talk? You don't go to the table to talk, you go to the table to listen. God gave us two ears and one mouth, using them accordingly, right? Two ears and one mouth, use them accordingly. It means you should be listening twice as much as you're talking. How much are you doing that? And then observing, paying attention. Talked about this before. Like, how much are you awake, moving through life? Where you are, you're taking in exactly where you are. You're present. You are observant. These are qualities that people are getting away from. Middle America is getting away from with social media, with all the things. It's not allowing us to read. We're doing everything by video. We're not listening. We're not listening to other people. We're trying to do a lot of talking and we're not observing. Our heads are in our phones, we're in our world. Like it's taking us completely away. That's why we have to have these conversations for us that want to get to that next version of ourselves. We want to get to that highest, grandest expression. We want to get to the life you don't need a break from. You have to buck the system. You have to get away from what you're seeing around you. Jim Rohn is just reminding you of these types of things. Second thing he said is go to work. Once you learn how things work, you have to go to work. You have to do the work, y'all. Never get away from that. This is not magic. This is not, cross my fingers. I hope this happens. No, no, no. You just do the work. Small steps lead to like major improvements. But how much are you doing the small things? How much are you consistent in the small things? Take action. Small victories. Make your bed every morning. Again, we know these things. How come we're not doing them? Is our nervous system not regulated? Are we focused on our emotional intelligence and our emotional health? How does stress handle, right? How do we handle stress in our life? How do we handle adversities? What's our perspective on certain things? This is what we got to start paying attention to, y'all. Um, Let your learning lead to action. And then lastly, he said, right, don't try to beat the system. Once you understand how something works, just work it the best you can. Work it the best you can. But what are you going to do tomorrow? What are you going to do tomorrow? That can change everything. What are you going to do that's going to be able to change everything? In our text, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class, it says the world class is committed to personal development. Jim Rohn is the godfather, one of the godfathers of personal development, personal growth. And you got to know on your journey of becoming the best version of you, getting to the life you want. Again, if nothing changes, nothing changes, but you got to change. You got to be committed to personally growing, a commitment. Some of you are married, you made a marriage commitment, which is a lifelong commitment, saying, this is what I plan to do. Well, you should be just as committed to personally growing and developing yourself to become the person that has the capacity to handle the life that they're asking for. Here's what it says in the text. It says average performers wouldn't read a personal development book or listen to a personal development recording if you paid them. Only about 5% of the population study personal development. Our exact estimate of the percentage of professional performers in this country. Interesting, isn't it? The masses seem to view personal development as motivational nonsense. Of course, most of these people are struggling to make ends meet. In contrast, many world-class people and those who aspire to world-class levels are believers in the personal development movement. You don't have to convince a champion to want to win. Personal development, by definition, is about discovering the unique talents and abilities and potentials that lie dormant within us. Let's say that again. Personal development, by definition, is about discovering the unique talents, abilities, and potentials that lie dormant within us. The great ones are always looking for one little adjustment, strategy, distinction, or technique that will give them an edge over the competition. And that's exactly what personal development offers. As Bill Gove was famous for saying, all of us already have everything we need inside of us to make our lives work. Personal development is not about self-improvement, it's about self-discovery. It's about rediscovering what we already know. This is something you have to commit your life to, ladies and gentlemen. It's discovering you. It's this, you know how many people, and this might be you if it is, right? Again, this is why you're here. You know how many people say, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what I should be doing. Right? We just heard Eric Thomas talk about it on Friday or Wednesday. All the days blend together. Maybe I think it was Friday that we were talking about ET saying he's been coaching people for years and most people don't know what they want. They're not tapped into themselves. Life has taken over. They've been in survival for so long, like they don't even know what they want, where they're going. So this personal development, personal growth journey that you're on is about you figuring out your talents, your abilities, your potential. What's lying dormant in you? What do you need to bring out? How do we go about it? What do you need to be studying? What do you need to be consuming in order to bring out those talents? What do you need to be tasting and trying and challenging yourself and pushing yourself to do in order to find that version of you? That's what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. But we got to be intentional. That's like the word of the month is like intentional. You got to be intentional. This stuff doesn't just fall on you. You have to do the work. I put people like a Jim Rohn in front of you because you can learn so much from him, but this is all mindset. This is all how you're thinking about your life, how you're thinking about your day to day, what limiting beliefs you might have about what's possible or not possible, getting down your vision. What do you want? And then working on this stuff, y'all, working on it. How, like, if you keep hearing about reading books, how many books have you read so far this year? Like, we're coming up on the last quarter of the year. If you keep hearing us talk about books and you probably see some stuff on social, you just know the way that we learn, the way that you can learn is by consuming more information from a book. How many books have you actually read? I used to joke about this in the early parts of my marriage, but I was like, man, no one comes out the womb learning how to be married. I got to read some books on this thing, right? I got to read some books on this. I don't know how to do this. And so I would read books on it. I'd read books on leadership. I read books on business. I read books on successful people. I read books on mindset. Like, what are you intentional about doing to get your life to where you want it to go? These calls are great inspiration, great motivation, but they're really just planting a seed in you to do the work necessary to take your life to the level you want it to go. And that's it. You got to understand this. This is the separator, personal development. Working twice as hard on yourself as you do on your job or on your business, pouring into you, finding the talents and skills that lie dormant in you that then you go give to the world. And again, success has many different, definitions, but it's whatever you decide it to be. It could be financial success, it could be relational, it could be in your spiritual life, it could be in your health life, it could be in any of these areas. But you got to commit to growing. Got to commit to grow. And here's what the action step for today says. It says make a commitment to attend 2 seminars or workshops in the next 12 months for your own personal growth and development. It's real funny. I'm gonna stop there. How many of you are pouring money into your personal development? How many of you are pouring money into your own personal growth? Do you find yourself, do you look at yourself like an investment? Like your personal growth is an investment. I know you want to go find the right accounts and all the stuff out there, but do you pour into you like you're an investment? Brian Tracy said you should put 3% of your annual income into your own personal development, your own personal growth. 3%. That means if you make 100 grand a year, $3,000 a year should go to you going to seminars, workshops, getting in networking groups, mastermind groups, building you, money invested back into you. Are you doing that? Well, the action step says make a commitment to attend at least 2 of these workshops in the next 12 months around personal growth and personal development. Set a goal to listen to one of your favorite nonfiction authors or speakers every day in your car. Very easy way to change it. No more music, no more radio, no more entertainment, no more whatever you listen to, and turn your car into a mobile university. Just put on good things, put on audiobooks, put on podcasts that grow you. It's a real easy hack, right? Set another goal to read one book a month over the next 12 months. You got to map out a personal development plan of action. Be intentional about it, but it says you'll be amazed at the results. I'm living proof of this. I always tell you guys this every single time, right? That like I was just a product of cutting a lot of stuff off and adding new stuff into my life. When I did that, my life changed. Why? Because I started thinking differently. I started seeing things differently because I was taking the new information. I didn't just rely on what I know. And you can't just rely on what you know now. You have to learn new things in order to get new results. And I'm here to help you on the journey, y'all. This is just another reminder. You guys know what to do. You know what to do. You just got to go do it. Just got to go do it. All right. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. If nobody else tells you, I'll always remind you. It just takes work. It takes intentionality. No one said it was going to be easy. It's going to take a little bit of a fight. It's going to take a little bit more of a commitment and intentionality from you, but it's possible. And you guys can go out and do it. Make today special. Make Monday count. Do something that scares you, push you out of your comfort zone. I'll see you guys back here on Wednesday. All right. Love you guys. Take care.